Welcome to True Modern Democracy, the show. Live Thursday, September 2nd, 2021, from the desk of Barry and the desk of Josh, spanning the country from coast to coast. It's time! In a world where two mere dummies can devise a system of government that can somehow make a little sense and appease the whole majority, pretty much always, Barry and Josh will not only astound, but will invoke bellyache laughter to tantalize all 7 of your senses. And now, live on camera on the YouTube and the Facebook, welcome to True Modern Democracy. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Barry. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad.
Good stuff.
Yeah, buddy. So, welcome, folks, to the show. We'll do our thing. Oh, I gotta drag Josh down. There, I fixed you. You were all...
a tendency to fidget and move.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So, welcome to the show, folks. I'm Barry. That's Josh. Now, realize this show, maybe you want to call it political satire if you want. I don't know if you can or not. Political satire sometimes tends to be not about the system and change and everything, but yet it always really is, isn't? So, we just have our own opinion. I have my opinion. Josh tends to agree with me sometimes. Josh tends to disagree sometimes. But
most of the time.
You just got to remember, Josh is a little bit of a dummy.
Kind of, but at least not a dumbass.
Well, that's true. So that sets the tone for the show, sort of. So what is true modern democracy? Well, democracy was started, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, the Greeks, the Romans, and it was in order to represent me because I can't be somewhere to voice my opinion, to tell how things should go. And that's basically what it is today. I mean, we hire representatives, MLAs, whatnot, and they're there to voice my opinion. How often, Josh, do you think your actual opinion gets voiced?
I'd probably say maybe 5% of the time.
Yeah, probably.
If that.
Yeah. It just doesn't. Well, welcome to 2021. Sometimes I say that and I can't believe it's actually 2021. It's ridiculous.
Well, you're a little bit older than me, so
it's just a couple of decades, yeah. But I don't need that anymore. You go on a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, go wherever you want, and your opinion, you can get your opinion to wherever you want it. So why do we need that? So true modern democracy has a belief in a way that a prime minister or a president, the leader of a country, could actually be done well under the same principles as jury duty. So why do I need that? I don't want to get into talking about actual politics and what's going on in current politics, but we all know the Trumps, the Bidens, the Trudeaus, all the names and everything. Nobody can agree that they're doing exactly what they want. I mean, especially the U.S., black and white. It's this and that's it. There's no in between. There is in between.
But you don't have the choice of in between.
No, you don't have the choice of in between.
It's like here. It's like in Canada too. We have the choice of other ways of government or other leaders to pick, but we don't have the choice. They're left out of the debates. They're left out of the ballots. You have to write them in, and they don't have the multi-million-dollar budgets for campaigning.
Yeah, exactly. So, true modern democracy is it's a unique system, I suppose. How it would ever work, I have no idea. But I've got a lot of thoughts on things that piss people off. Education, right? Education stinks. We need to fix education. One of the ways to fix education is teachers. Now, I have sisters that are teachers, and I think teachers are incredibly important, the most important thing. But I think that teachers should get paid a base salary of, give or take, somewhere around $35,000 a year.
And that's roughly where they start already.
I think they probably do better than that. And a good teacher should make a lot more than that.
Depends on the province. Yeah.
However, I also believe in standardized testing. And I also believe that those teachers should be paid a bonus based on the performance of their students. So a good teacher
100%.
can make $150,000 a year easily. I don't buy into too much, and maybe there's people out there that can explain to me, because again, I'm a dumbass, Josh is an idiot, or whatever it was, but you can explain to me this whole, well, this area, the students don't do very well, like in the hood or whatever, right? The projects, the students aren't very good there. How is that kid any different than any other kid?
That's true. I mean, you still have to reinforce the drive and the want to do better, though, and that comes from being at home as well. And then that gets into other social issues that come into play at that point.
Just a little bit, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just don't buy it. I think if the education system worked better in those areas, if the teachers worked better. I mean, I know there's things with class sizes and, and all sorts of stuff like that, but I think it could be done way better than the way it's done. But with true modern democracy, you would have your say on that. And it's not just somebody telling me what's best. Right? Now, there are people that do know what's better, and I still want to hear from those people, but I don't believe that those people should be the one to make the absolute decisions. It should be the people. So, again, with true modern democracy, we can shorten that up to TMD. With TMD, you would vote on everything. I can see a system where you can actually have credits, so you get voting credits. I don't know what the number, say the number will be 30 voting credits a year is what you get as a human being. I also see a way that if you're a business owner, you can get a couple of special credits for business-based decisions. You can, this can be played with a little bit. You can get more credits. You can only vote once on something. No matter what, it gives me the internet's not secure. The internet's not secure. Bullshit. The internet's secure.
If we can mail our ballots across the country, we can vote online.
Yeah.
I trust online voting more than I trust Canada Post.
Yes. Yeah. I think online a little more secure than Johnny Doolittle walking down the road holding on to my envelope. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Never mind all this mail-in fraud and all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure there'll be issues, but look, the government, you try to deal with the government with your taxes or something like that, then, you can't email them. You have to fax them or you have to mail something. It's just ridiculous. Hey, guess what? When it comes time to pay my taxes, oh, hell yeah, I can do that online, can't I?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, I can. So if it's good enough for that, it's good enough for everything.
100%.
So you get these credits. You can buy more credits. Credits will be inexpensive, very, very inexpensive, but it just helps a little bit of control, and stuff like that. So everybody doesn't feel obligated that they have to vote on everything. It clearly sets out that you can vote or you don't have to vote. If it's something you feel strongly about, you vote on it, and then it becomes a law. This whole vaccine and vaccination card and all this stuff, that could be handled really easily with this. Put it out to the humans. Log into your little log into your little thing. Oh yeah, no, I don't think we should have vaccination cards. I think we should have vaccination cards. Majority rules. You know what I mean? There could be certain.
What do you do for all the no votes?
Well, see, and I've always believed that a non-vote is a no vote, and I think that no vote should count against something. But the only time we get to use that is when we're voting for somebody, right? To put somebody into power. And if you've got a voter turnout, what was that one that they did in BC that was proportional representation? And they had like a 22% vote return. Well, obviously that means that 78%, 78%. Pretty good with the math skills there. I woke up this morning. You're not allowed to do math. That's how many people didn't give a crap.
That happens federally as well. I
Oh,
mean,
it happens for everything. Sure.
we've got a leader that's got what 32% of the vote
Yeah.
of like 57% of the population.
Yeah.
So it's like a very, very tiny amount of people that want the government that we have in power.
Yeah.
So
But and we don't have a better choice,
no,
right?
not even,
So
not,
why
not
would
even
I
remotely.
vote if I
They're all the
don't?
better choice, though, Barry. They're all the
Well,
better choice.
people, that's the thing. So now I'm supposed to just go vote for somebody just to vote against?
Well, and that's where our system's wrong.
Well,
You
if
know,
we didn't
you've
have to
run out,
vote,
you've run out of the good options, so you're going to choose the lesser of the bad options.
exactly. Yeah, sure. And it makes sense to some, I suppose, but the whole system's broken,
Yeah.
so we just need to fix the entire system.
It's
Like
kind of a tough thing to do.
well, with my system, I don't think it is a tough thing to do. I mean, you could leave everything as it is, although I want to change everything. You could leave everything just as it is and use my system for voting on everything. Nothing, no decisions get made, no money gets spent without the country voting.
Right.
Nothing.
I get the logistics are easy. It's easy logistically, but getting the people involved and on board is another thing.
It could be. I don't think it would be a problem.
And the thing is, if we leave it up to the government that we have now, governments are famous for running studies that top in the millions of dollars to market research this sort of thing, and then spending millions and millions of dollars to develop this system. It'd probably run into the billions of dollars just to deliver an inferior product. So if you're going to leave it in the hands of the government now to change the system, like it's logistically it's easy to set this in place, like computer programming and whatnot, but like
how do you get it done?
hurting cats is a hard thing to do.
Armed citizens.
Yeah.
Well, we just went down a whole new road. Yeah. I mean, it's
not to condone that or anything.
Well, although if I was smarter, much more smarter, and and this show, gains a little bit of traction and gets a little bit of involvement from the humans out there that are a little smarter or have better ideas, and we can put pen to paper and write a plan, write a manifesto sort of thing. And the more people that get behind this, I mean, all of a sudden, if we're doing a show and there's 17 million people listening each episode or something, well, then there's obviously something to it, and it obviously makes sense. Then it will be a lot easier. At that
it's
point,
not a show anymore; it's a movement.
Well, yeah, God bless that, But at that point, then you just have to put your name in the hat and run for office, Josh for president, and
there's got to be some sort of background checks done on people for this sort of thing too. You got to be pretty well vetted to put your name in the hat.
Probably. We could find somebody, some rube.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Some pat, right?
Yeah,
that's all you really want.
We got
if
some
everything's
friends.
done online. Yeah.
We got some friends. We could, put a PR person in there. Well, but again, my system, I mean, we could jury duty. I'm sorry to inform you, Josh, but you have been selected to be prime minister for the next 3 months.
Yeah, and if all hell goes in, hell in a handbasket, right? And
yeah, but
whose fault is it at that point?
Everybody's fault. That's the beauty behind the system.
But people like finding somebody physically to blame, though.
Yeah, they do, and my system would take away from that. I mean,
Right, so
you'd still get somebody, like I said, there's still going to have to be a professional, hoojamacaulay that's going to come out and say, well, we should do this because of this, this, and this, this. And they're going to turn out to be wrong because we all agreed with them and all voted to do it. Well, then that guy's going to take the blame. You know what I mean? There's always going to be somebody available to take the blame. Right?
That's true.
Always.
As long as somebody's available to take the blame.
Yeah, that's true. So many other just principles and stuff like that. I mean, I believe in a flat tax.
Oh, yeah.
I think that pick a number random out of your head, say 20% because it's a nice, even, round number. Yeah. And I don't care how much you make, who you are, anything like that. You live in the country, you pay 20% tax. End of story. No deductions, no nothing. That's what you pay, 20%.
I feel like 20 is pretty steep, especially with the way that the housing market is right now and everything. I don't see that changing.
I'm just using 20 as a number.
Yeah.
I know certain places, Hong Kong, it's like 17.5%, I think, out there.
17 is usually the base, but I'm pretty sure we could probably get by if everybody actually paid their damn taxes. We could probably get away with doing like an 11 or 12% flat tax right across the board.
That would be pretty sweet.
And keep the way of life that we have now, if not make it better.
That would be pretty awesome. Now,
especially if we get rid of like the squandering, unnecessary politics in Ottawa, right?
That's true. Speak of that, somebody had said to me when I mentioned this that, wow, Jesus, you're going to put hundreds and hundreds of people out to, out of work sort of thing because the CRA has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that all payroll for the entire country is all done by the government. So your deductions, your everything is all taken directly. Well, this goes back to, everything kind of ties together in a roundabout kind of way. But I think the Bank of Canada should actually be a bank. So now the Bank of Canada is actually a bank. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, Royal, TD, CT, MOUSC, CIBC, you can take them all and throw them in the woods. Because they make far too much money. I'm sick and tired of listening to the Royal Bank report. Well, we're going to raise your Interac fee 30 cents because we only made $32 billion last quarter.
Yeah, what? But saying that you want the banks to run all of the citizens' payroll, you're kind of sounding like it's communism.
Communism, I don't think communism, and I'm, again, a dummy, but I don't really think communism is bad if you can eliminate a few things like greed.
Good luck. Ideologically, it's not bad. Yeah. However,
if you can eliminate greed, it's pretty good. You put me into power, and I'm going to probably get greedy. That's just the nature of the beast, right? If you could. And our friend David Gels, my brother Dave, as he's known, has texted on the show from Facebook there and said, what do you want your tax money to go to? Well, if I had it my way, it'd go to me.
I was just going to say back in my pocket, but...
Well, the tax money would go to, government programs and everything where your taxes go now. But I would want to control government spending. I have no idea and tried to look up what the government actually spends a year on governmenting.
Too much.
It's way too much. And we have too many people that are making way too much money.
The Queen makes $20 million off of us every year.
Really, eh?
Yeah. Oh,
see, that's how dumb I am.
Google that quickly, but I'm pretty sure she gets paid a damn good salary from Canada.
Wow, nice. If I dress like the Queen, will they pay me? I'll even talk like her. I'll be the Queen. You just send me your money because I like it.
I don't know. I can't find it quickly right now, but I think the last time I looked at it was like just over $20 million every year. Is what we pay to the Queen.
Yeah, that's insane.
For what? It's just more
Queenie?
wasted money. Oh, and then we pay a liaison that just.
I'd rather pay $20 million a year to Queen, the band, even without Fred.
Well, yeah. It'd be money better spent. Maybe they'd come and play some free concerts.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh.
No doubt.
Well, they wouldn't be free because we'd be paying $20 million.
Well, there you go. I guess, yeah. Roundabout.
But either way, wasted money.
It is, yeah. It is wasted money. But I think, wealthy people, I do believe, get a lot of writes off and deferments, and even the tax system now is kind of crazy that it just doesn't make sense. It's so complicated. We don't need it. I'd like to be able to get rid of sales tax and all of that stuff and just have it income tax. If you're taxed on the money that you've been taxed on to pay tax. like even property tax. Now, I understand that it goes different places and stuff like that, but, I just paid a property tax bill. That's money that I've already paid tax to the government on, that they're charging me more for being a productive member of the community. And
and it's yearly too. It's never going to end.
No. So if you take your 12%, up that a little bit up to 15%. But that extra 3% of income tax that you're paying is the only tax you will pay. Yeah. That's it. There's no income. There's no property tax. There's no sales tax, harmonized tax, GST, MOU. There's
climate tax.
That's it.
All that BS.
Carbon tax. All the BS is just done right there. Yeah. I think it makes sense. And again, I know that a lot has to be figured out. The number has to be figured out. I'm sure there will have to be adjustments for, people that make under X amount of dollars and whatnot. And that's fine if you're the poverty line at 30 grand a year or whatever it is.
Well, I think bumping that up to 50 grand, you'll get enough of the people that are making over 50 grand kicking in their fair share for a change. And anybody below 50 should be able to live a comfortable life not paying the tax on what they earn.
Well, okay, so in Europe, in certain places, my sister lives in Denmark. Education is paid for. Your housing, your books, everything's all paid for. Everything's taken care of. So if we had this tax and we lowered massively the amount of money the government spends on itself, and we still have a good amount of money coming in, and we could dole out a lot more for people that need it and stuff, so 50 grand. So if you're in a household, you and your wife each, man, and now you're 100 grand and you live in Timbuktu, well, you're laughing, right? So no, you should absolutely pay tax on that. I mean, I'm almost at the point
what you make to the region you live in.
I'd have to be hard pressed to actually put a minimum number on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Look, if you're only making 20 grand a year and you're working full time, well, you're getting screwed. Number one. Number two, you have zero experience, zero education, zero training. Well, I want to have the plans and programs to be able to set that, But I want trickle down as well. Here's another kooky, crazy idea that I have.
Let's hear it.
Okay. I want a countrywide salary cap.
Ooh, now it's starting to sound very communistic.
No. It would be an egregious number. Like over 100 million a year, 500 million a year, right? Like an absolute insane amount of money.
Right, only like the top echelons of people would be able to ever reach that sort of thing.
Right. Except when they reach that, right, they have to pass that job on to somebody else.
Pass the job on to somebody else?
Pass the job on to somebody else.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
If you own a business and you're making, $400 million a year, whatever, blah, 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 you reach a cap. Maybe it's a net worth cap. It might be $1 billion. It's going to be insane. But we have to stop these people that make $1 billion from making $20 billion and $100 billion. It's just insane.
And then before you know it, you're Jeff Bezos, right?
Well, that 1% that has all the money in the world, I want to stop that from happening. Just stop it. And after these really, really, really successful guys get to a point, you look at like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, they're giving 90% of their wealth away. They've come to the point, okay, well, this is stupid and I don't need this, so I'm giving the money away. Whether you agree with how they're doing it or what they're doing about it and stuff like that, it doesn't matter, right? But that's what ends up happening anyways. So let's just nip it in the bud. Let's start it before it happens and see if we can get the trickle-down thing going. So if you've got a company that's making that much money, you become the CEO, you make your $400 million a year, well, then the next guy has to go. The next guy has to go. Next thing you know, 20 years down the road, there's 20 people that have all made $400 million or whatever that number is going to be.
Or the trickle-down effect should reach the people and the redistribution of wealth should start taking place at that point.
Well, at that point it does. If you've got one person
instead of
that's
it
made
on to one other soul to make $400 million in a year sort of thing. Instead, yeah, $400 million could go and spread it around to, 10, 15,000 people.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good money for 10, 15,000 people if you do the division.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to do the division because I'll come up with completely the wrong number, but it should be pretty good money.
What, I did math already. What, you can't do math? You're too good to do math? Is that what's going on here?
I don't want to show you up.
As he reaches for his calculator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could change. The way that we do it, it just doesn't make any sense, really, Yeah. Yeah, I think a salary cap, it's an odd thing, but I just want the trickle down. I want that money to get spread around. Nobody needs $400 million. You know what I mean?
Not every year.
No.
There's still a room for billionaires. It's just going to take you 3 years to become a billionaire.
Or even if it's a net worth thing or something to try and spread the money around, Yeah. Wondered if there could be a charity tax on businesses. Like I mentioned Royal Bank, because I just remember hearing them. They raised the rates on Interac fees and then reported like a multi-billion-dollar income for the quarter, and I was just floored that they could do that. I'm like, well, I'm closing my Royal Bank account. I'm gonna do anything that I can do, right, to stop that kind of crap. But what if you had a company that makes the billions of dollars? That I'd be curious on what they're paying in taxes and stuff, but maybe you could have a charity, probably, but you could also, they would now all pay their fair share in taxes because it's a flat tax.
Yeah.
But also have a charitable tax over a percentage of profit or a number of profit or something, and then you have to spend X amount on a charitable cause.
Agreed.
Right.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, it is socialist. It's but.
Yeah, but we already live in a socialist society, and building upon it isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's like taking socialism to the the far left extreme, as everybody wants to push it, is definitely not the direction we should go in.
True. Yeah.
But finding a nice balance, like a centralist balance, where you still have good social systems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a socialist society ever since we started this. North America.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've always had social systems.
But it's like you say, like communism. Like, what if the leader of the party, the Communist Party, is everybody?
Ooh, and therein lies your internet.
Well, there's my theory, though. There's my theory. I mean, it works. Like, the leader is everybody. Everybody's going to make the decision. I understand in government, probably there's some decisions you have to make that aren't going to be popular.
Right.
I'd like examples of those because I can't think of any. I mean, Vietnam War,
Vietnam pulling out of Afghanistan.
Going to Nam. Would have the public said, yes, let's go to Nam?
Oh,
No. I don't know what the difference would have been if it didn't happen. I'm not going down that road. But
the public didn't want to go to Afghanistan, and look where we're at now, right? 20 years later, and we're pulling out, and people are pissed off that we're pulling out. Mind you, the way that they pulled out was completely heinous. They were already pulling out on a delayed time schedule sort of thing.
Slowly.
They were gonna meet the Taliban's deadlines that Trump caved apparently to, made a dirty deal with the Taliban, right? But at the end of the day, everybody was gonna pull out. Everybody was gonna be pulled out safely. But then, somebody else comes into power, wants to make a big name for himself, and it's like, no, we're gonna do this now. And look where we're at. 75,000 military vehicles just handed over to the enemy.
I know.
Not to mention all the weapons and.
It's insane. But
ridiculous.
would have a public opinion poll that the public opinion poll would have set the ruling? Would have that changed? Would people truly say, "Get out now, leave everything behind"?
I don't think so.
I don't think
they would have. I don't think they would have. We're smarter than that, I'd like to think.
Well, and I've always had this theory that people are dumb. People are dumb, but a person is smart.
Yeah.
Now, on their own, people are smart. They make rash, logical decisions. They understand. They know when you get a group of people together.
Oh, group mentality, right?
It's horrible. They're just idiots.
They follow the lowest common denominator.
Yeah. It's well, so on my thing, it is a group, it is people, but you're voting on your own. And you never know what somebody's going to do all on their own. People might say one thing and do another thing.
And that's exactly what happens.
Like the vaccination thing, people that are spouting off that about not getting vaccinated for whatever the reason, fine, have at it. I've given up on that one.
Yeah.
But then they're actually vaccinated. It's people that vote. When they were when Trump won, I remember them asking, there was a YouTuber guy that was going around asking people who they voted for and where they voted. And they couldn't come up with the answer of where they voted because they just didn't vote, even though they're in the streets screaming bloody murder, but they actually didn't even vote. So shut up, stupid, right?
Because they were too busy out in the streets screaming about getting out to vote for, the right person that,
they didn't take the time to go vote themselves,
No, they were pushing the movement, Barry. They're pioneers, right?
Oh, that's right.
They're out there to get you to vote.
Oh, okay. That's right. I forgot. Yeah. See, I don't like that stuff.
No, everybody should vote. Every man, woman, and young adult.
But vote. But I don't believe.
But
I don't believe that. I don't vote. I'm not gonna vote.
No.
I don't care. There's nobody that I want to vote for. So I'm not going to vote. I don't buy this no vote because my no vote doesn't count. Everybody's, oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Really, in my opinion, it doesn't. I don't think it's going to make a difference. I want to make a difference on every little thing that happens. I don't want to become a politician. I don't like politicians, right? So I want to end that. And I want to have everybody vote on everything. That's when you should get out and vote. And by getting out means pull out your phone and, let's see. I got to vote on this one. Okay.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be something too difficult either. Like maybe set up voting quarterly, four times a year. This is all the bills that we're looking to pass. And, you get your bullet points on all the outlining what the bill's for. And you can either A, go into it a little bit more, or B, agree with it right away, vote for it, or disagree with it and vote for it right away. But at least, everything's laid out. You can do your own due diligence and vote yes or no. And it shouldn't take you very long. You could have 30 things on the docket. And it shouldn't take you any more than a half hour, 45 minutes to do your own due diligence and vote on those.
Yeah, I've never thought about it that way. My thought was on the fly as things happen, as they come up.
Yeah, well, it depends on the situation.
Because I don't want to wait. I've always believed in why do later what you can do now. It just if I can do this right now, just get it done. And why am I going to make somebody else wait? You know what I mean? Just keep it on the fly, keep it current, keep it active. I think you can. Something comes up, the media, whatever. Don't even get me started on the media because that's a whole nother issue with me. Well, they can do anything that they want to do, but news has to be unbiased and
not when you're funded by the government, though. Especially when you're state-owned broadcaster.
Oh yeah, well,
who's doing all the fact checking now?
I'd want to change all that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're going to go through the election where the CBC has been given authority to be Facebook's official fact checker for the election. It was like, how many tens and hundreds of millions of dollars have they taken for bailouts from the Liberal government?
Yeah,
they ain't going to say anything bad about them.
Yeah, true that. I guess.
Don't
Yeah.
bite the hand that feeds you, right?
Yeah.
They're a state-owned broadcaster. They're gonna back who's ever in power,
Yeah.
and that's not right.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish I knew more and I was more educated on how things work, like bailouts. I get it, but it shouldn't be a bailout. It should be an investment. You know, when General Motors starts crying and saying, "Okay, we're gonna have to close these plants and we're gonna have to blah blah blah. We need a $11 billion bailout or whatever." That's fine. We'll give the money. This is what your company's worth right now. We're gonna give you 20% of your net worth.
Yep.
So that gives us 20% of the company. When you're ready to buy it back from us, you can buy it back from us.
Well, that's exactly what they did,
There
though.
should be no bailout.
The government owned part of General Motors when they gave them that big bailout in, what was it, 2008 or 2009.
Yeah.
They took ownership over a portion of the company. They obviously didn't take control.
Did they get the money back?
They got the money back. GM paid them back.
Oh yeah.
But then they still pulled out of Oshawa and screwed over tens of thousands of people out of work, right?
Yeah.
It's Oshawa's kind of turning into the next Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Try not to go back there. It's my hometown.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, you're talking about a hometown there, buddy.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends that are out of work.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Lucky my old man took his buyout when he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Nice. So yeah, that's what the show's about. Just a whole lot of crap and cribble, and I'd like to talk politics without talking politics, if that makes much sense.
I think all we did was talk politics.
Yeah, but avoiding politically politicking. I want to change the system. So any example that you could throw out about politics and current politics, I do believe I could give you the solution.
But
Not
this
everybody
isn't a
would agree with
political analyst show or anything.
Yeah. Maybe people don't agree with it, but that's the great thing about beauty of my system. You cannot agree with it, then you can vote against it, and there you go. But I really want to end up with listeners that can get involved with the show. Like that Dave there asking questions. Dave, where do I want my money to go? But ask more questions. Fire us questions. When we're doing the show, it's live on Facebook and YouTube. You can fire us questions. You can go to the truemoderndemocracy.com. You can send in comments and stuff, and we'll read through them, read through the posts on Facebook, and give us directions to go and help solve the problems. And this is a slow process. This is nothing that's going to happen overnight. But if we can come up with a plan or something and start getting traction with it, it's the only way the world's going to change. And it has to change because it's antiquated, it's old, and it's dumb.
Yeah, and let us know any good idea or anything that you have, any positive or even negative.
Or even bad ideas, like all of mine.
Oh, yeah, terrible. But it's not just like setting up a system like that's our way of system. It's setting up a system that's everyone's way of, that makes everybody involved.
And that's what I want. I want everybody to be involved in how your country is run. It just makes sense. And if we did something and came up with a happy median somewhere to get a little control over politicians, you know what I mean? I want them to have, responsibility for
control
the
as
things
in
they
leashes
do and say, like election time. We're in election time, and you're looking at all these promises and stuff like that. Like,
are they even promises anymore?
No, and it's just
when you know it's not going to get delivered.
It's garbage. It's garbage. Yeah. It's gobbledygook. But they have to take responsibility for their actions.
Yeah. In this election, it's all smearing now in this election.
Yeah.
We're still talking about Harper, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, how many years has it been?
It's been 2 or 3.
And like we're still referring to the conservative. No, it's been more than 2 or 3 years since Harper. It's been a lot longer of hell than that.
Yes, it has been a very, very long time.
But like, it's like you can't keep blaming past predecessors for your current fuck ups.
Yeah.
Oops, my bad.
It's just is what it is. No, you can't. But blame the people. If the people were the ones that make the decision, then that's fine.
Well,
That's just what it
it's
is.
100% our fault too, though. Is the fact of, well, it's not just our fault. There's a lot of factors of, like having no choice whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the fact that nobody goes out and votes anymore.
True.
Because they don't care.
Yeah. I wonder if, I was just thinking, so what if I have to stroke my beard when I think? Cause,
I wish I still had my beard to stroke.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't fidget so much.
You reach over. What if there was a way, somehow, somebody, some way, that could make a list of all the decisions that are made in government, in one level of government, one area of government, where it could be municipal, it could be federal, it could be whatever. If somebody out there that listens to this that has the ability to do this, make a list of everything that they do and call into the show every time they do something, and we can kind of take our own little poll on what they should do. Whatever they do doesn't matter, but we'll make our decision, and we'll see where the differences are and what the reactions, responsibility, culpability, all that would be if we make a decision different than actually happens. You know what I mean? I don't even care if it's a small town. The town of Yucca decides they're going to put in a new baseball stadium, for the kids to play. And they voted out, right? Because they say, no, we don't need to spend the money right now. And we do it, and we ask everybody that's out there, and they all say, yes, we should do it, and try and figure out what that means, to see how the system would possibly work. So that's homework for you kids out there.
Give us your ideas on what we should do to your town.
Well, it's anybody if is interested or something like that. Let's see how it would work if we could get people involved, do the voting through this show. We could set up a way to do polls and click magic things up on the screen to or whatever, and get a poll sort of thing done and make our own decisions. Not that it will affect what is actually going to happen. It won't. It could even be things that have already happened, and see if the people out there, given the information, would make the same decision of government or a different decision of government. We could do that on a federal level and talk about the pipeline for $4 billion that two guys behind closed doors said let's spend.
Oh yeah,
I don't agree with that.
We could take every bill that's on the docket right now, or any law that's trying to be passed right now, and do the exact same thing.
We could. Yeah, maybe we could go down that road.
Yeah, or anything major like gun control, or anything that comes up that's trying to get pushed through Parliament right now.
True. Yeah, we could do anything. Yeah.
See how the end result ends up. Because if the end result ends up, and I know how it's going to end up, because MPs aren't there to represent their constituents anymore.
Yeah.
They're there to toe the party line on what the party's leaders and bases and what they want. So
yeah,
the MPs aren't for their constituents anymore.
No, absolutely.
Oh.
I changed our backgrounds a little bit because I was like,
yeah, you did.
We need a little bit of a change. I forgot.
I'm kind of not in the mountains anymore, though.
Well, you're kind of not. If we're looking out your window a long ways away, there's mountains. So those who didn't know, Josh is in the wonderful world of British Columbia. And I say wonderful world because, when you live in British Columbia, which you did for about 12 years, whatever, you think about the rest of Canada as, oh, no, that's Canada. Because BC's in this little bubble, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest with you, but...
but that's the way it is. We're separated by the rest of the country by mountains.
Yeah, exactly.
We kind of are our own little bubble.
Well, only half of it is separated by mountains. Most of it's in the mountains.
All the important people are in Vancouver, Barry.
That's true. I forgot. I'm sorry. And I myself, I'm out on the other side of the world, on the east coast of Canada, in Nova Scotia. That is a picture I took of a lighthouse. I don't know if I took that picture, actually. I think I just stole it from somewhere. It might have been when I took it. It could be out by Peggy's Cove. And I think I might have.
Yeah.
Looks a little. I can.
Looks a little professional.
Squish.
Yeah.
Are you saying I can't take a good picture?
I don't know. I've never seen you take a picture before, so.
There you go. How's that?
Well, I don't know.
Now you've seen me take a picture. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Yeah, well, that's just letting people know where we're at and how we do this and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know,
Literally coast to coast.
Coast to coast, buddy, coast to coast. And see, it's Barry and Josh. It says it right there on the screen.
Right. Barry, Josh.
Yes. So I don't know. That's about all I can think of to talk about how the show's going to go. I don't know what kind of format we'll end up choosing, and try and stick with the plan and go with it. And you know, we can modify this, we can theme it, we can do all sorts of things. I'd love to hear feedback from anybody. Like I said,
definitely.
the website, you can email info, or maybe you can make a new email for True Modern Democracy. Easiest, just go to the book face or the YouTube. Post comments on the video on YouTube, and post comments on Facebook. I think I tweeted some stuff. There's an Instagram. We're out there. You can find us. Find us, like us, subscribe to us, share us, love us, hug us, and then tell us to go screw off, because that's just how we roll.
That's pretty much it.
Perfect. Well, I guess that's close to the wrap of the show here. And did a little freaky.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Freaky. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, the next one should be more interesting, or
much more interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Get my thing going here. There we go. Got a little sound coming in. A little music playing to end the show. Thanks for watching, folks. Peace.